Hi guys, your buddy Rorschach here. So, Brian Michael Bendis has finally plopped down in DC, and this is his first full issue of Man of Steel. So, what is in store for fans of Superman over the next few years? I don't know how long he's going to last before people get fed up with him, Bendis. Well, if you were reading any of his stuff for SJW Marvel, that story involving the new Iron Man, Ironheart. There never was an Ironheart book, was there? It was always called Iron Man. Yeah, the really brilliant stuff. If you're a fan of that, then you'll like this, because it's the same stuff. The art is great. Of course, it's great. They're going to give him the best artist, and Ivan Rice is a very talented man. But the story itself is more regressive, progressive, paranoia, and signalling. We got Krypton many years ago, so they're going to explore the destruction of Krypton. And Krypton, to me, in this context with Brian Michael Bendis writing it, has the very familiar scent of Israel hanging over it. So when he's talking about Krypton, I'm thinking Israel. So this was Israel in the past, the destruction of the Jewish state. How was the Jewish state destroyed? Well, this guy here apparently is going to have something to do with it. A guy called Rogol Sol, who's part alt-right bigot, part Marxist, believe it or not. He's doing the strong prey on the weak thing and saying that the only reason that Krypton is strong is because they're exploiting all the other planets. The left used to say that about the West. They used to say that the only reason that white countries are doing so well is because they pillaged all the resources of all the other countries around the world, particularly Africa. But what's happening today, though, with the internet is that the truth about that's getting out, and people are starting to realise that the real resources of a country are not what's underground, but the people themselves. So it's the IQ that's the resource. Brian Michael Bendis will be fully aware of this because he's a Jewish individual, and he'll know that the resource of the Jews, which helps them dominate in white Western countries, in all the major corporations, in academia and media and banking and everything, it's their IQ. So it's the resource of IQ that's the most valuable resource at all. So maybe this old lie is finally being discarded by the left. So this guy is definitely a bad guy. That is the face of a bigot, if I've ever seen one. And he's talking about Krypton must be cleansed, every one of them. And when he used the word cleanse, I mean, it's a Jewish writer using the word cleansed. And we're talking ethnic cleansing here, aren't we? So this is the past. This is a story about how the Israel, so Krypton of the past, was destroyed. And they're going to tie it into what's happening today. So in Metropolis, what's happening today? Well, we have a guy with a fashy haircut. If you don't know what fashy haircut means, then just Google it. It's basically an alt-right haircut, which people like Richard Spencer used to have. I don't know if Spencer's still got the same haircuts, but the important thing is that he's white and he's a male, and he's going to be the villain in the Brian Michael Bendis book. So Superman is taking the evil whiteys away, and after dumping off the evil white men, he goes back to saving the victims of the leftist plantation, women and little coach girls there with two lovely puppies. And then we get a classic piece of SJW Michael Bendis writing as the identity of the fire chief is revealed, and of course she's not some middle-aged bloke as he would be in the real world. It's a girl called Melody Moore. Okay. My local fire brigade had a diversity drive a couple of months ago because they were desperate to get women involved in the fire service, because obviously somebody in the HR department said, you're all men here, that's discriminating against women. The big problem that they had is that women didn't want to be firemen. Women don't really want to climb ladders and rescue people from burning buildings because it's a really, really dangerous job. It's the same reason why women don't often work on North Sea oil rigs or deep sea mining or down the sewers, because they're crappy jobs and they can do something a lot easier, like work in the HR department. This is silly. This is Brian Michael Bendis signalling just like he always does. So nothing new there. A bit tiresome, really. I thought there was an opportunity for a truly funny joke here. He's flying off and she's basically lusting after him, the female gaze. And then she realises that he's got super hearing. What would have been genuinely funny is if she blew off. And he said, I heard that. That would be genuinely funny, but it's Brian Michael Bendis, so you're not going to get genuinely funny, you can get funny. From there we go back to the state of Israel, Krypton in the past, and the remnants of the 1960s hippie generation there, from the Green Lantern universe, tell this guy that they're not going to help him, that Israel has not acted with aggression towards anyone. Yes, I know I said Israel. So Israel, Krypton. It's the same thing, man. It is the same thing. Israel was Krypton in this book. So the Israelis have not acted towards anyone with aggression. I guess the 51 people, was it 51, who were killed a couple of weeks ago, don't count. And I know why they don't count, because that was self-defense. And I'm not anti-Israel, believe it or not. I'm actually pro-Israel. I admire the Israelis because they're really smart people, and they've got an ethno-state, and they've got a big wall around it, and they don't even have to declare the nuclear weapons that they've got. And they basically have their entire country funded and protected by the largest military that the world has ever seen, America. That is awesome. I love Israel. Israel are great. They are. We should copy Israel. We should be like Israel. Just have countries with white people controlling their own countries, like they used to, like we always have done throughout our entire history. Why does it have to be changed now? The state of Israel is working, fine. They do whatever they want. They defend themselves whenever they want. No one does anything about them. They're secure behind their wall. They run everything. They're great. God, I wish I was Jewish sometimes. If I was, I'll definitely be living in Israel if I was anyway. But unfortunately, I'm not Jewish. Unfortunately, I'm white. And I've got to live in England as the freedoms that have been built up over centuries before me are gradually torn down as we go into a new era of suspicion, nobody trusting anybody, no religion, no culture, no shared anything, just totalitarian, progressive, leftist virtue signaling as the power of the state gets larger and larger and larger as our freedoms diminish around us. I want to be Jewish. I want to move to Israel. Anyway, so I'm not against Israel. Back to the story. Sorry, that's a bit of a tangent, wasn't it? So he's not going to get the help that he needs to destroy Krypton. I guess you have to destroy Krypton by himself. So he is. And the artwork is beautiful. Back to now, and we have Clark Kent sitting in what looks like the headquarters of BuzzFeed. So I assume he's digging for dirt on Donald Trump there, or doing some irrelevant story about I don't know, the top 10 funny cat videos or something clickbaity, or to do with Donald Trump, I assume anyway. And then he talks with his missus a couple of panels later, and Lewis Lane is working on a story exposing the corruption of the Vice President of the United States of America, of course, because it's a progressive comic book written by Brian Michael Bendis, and he's not going to lose any opportunity to give you the impression that the current American president and his administration are very corrupt people that we should all be fighting against. That's it. That's I don't want to do spoilers at the end because of copyright reasons. Now that's all you're getting from Brian Michael Bendis. You're getting a bit of a paranoia about the state of Israel there. I would suggest, let me know what you think about that. We have his progressive signalling there. The future of the fire brigade, apparently. Oh God, I hope I don't get caught in some high-rise tower that's burning down, and I have this lady on the ladder coming to rescue me. For God's sake. What else do we have? Yeah, we have the same old fixing groups of the left, same old bad guys, and the same old endless dialogue bubbles, and same old lack of editing. So it looks like the editors of DC haven't really learned anything at all. They're just going to give him a free rein to do whatever he wants. And I guess they'll hope that the glorious artwork is going to carry it all through, and that people are going to be happy with this. I'm not going to be buying issue number 2. It's actually a weekly bloody book. I can't be reading this guff every week, that's for sure. Well, you'll be reading it every week, and if you picked up this book, what did you make of it? Do you think that Brian Michael Bendis is going to last for a prolonged period of time working for DC, or do you think people are going to get fed up with him and he's going to be out of DC in less than 6 months or so? Let me know what you think. I hope that is the latter. I don't want this kind of regressive, kind of just old. It feels old. Everything about it feels like it's redundant, like it's tired, like nothing new is happening here. I don't want this kind of stuff in my comic books. I want to be challenged, and this isn't going to challenge me. But yeah, what did you make of it? Let me know in the comments. And if you want something that's genuinely subversive, genuinely trying to push some boundaries rather than keep people on a bloody progressive plantation, then check out my new book, Invasion of the Red Light Spiders by Mark Anthony Pritchard. Available now on Amazon. I'll leave a link to it in the description to this video. So thanks for checking out this video. Looking forward to the comments. As always, take care. Catch you all later.